Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to share with you all about my Ultherapy experience in Seoul. So if you're interested, do keep on watching. So as you all know, I recently went to Seoul and I decided to do the Ultherapy treatment over there. Prior to this treatment, I have not done anything on my face whatsoever. I've not done Botox, I've not done any sort of injections, lasers, ultrasounds, nothing. I've not done anything to my face ever apart from your normal facials. So I would say that I'm quite a newbie in this category of sorts. I guess the reason why I decided to get some treatment done in Seoul was because I keep hearing people talking about going to Seoul to get treatments done, especially Botox. So for a very long while, I was actually interested in doing Botox in Seoul. I heard a lot of people talking about Botox in Seoul, especially on YouTube, because I watch a lot of videos and somehow people just typically go to Seoul to get their treatments done. So that made me very interested, and I think YouTube started recommending me videos because I kept googling about Olive Young, Olive Young best products, Olive Young best recommendations, and then all these skincare stuff by all these skincare YouTubers started to pop up. And one of the YouTubers that I was watching, I can't remember her name now, but I'm going to leave it on the screen below. She posted a video of herself doing Ultherapy in Seoul.
I'm going to get the procedure called Ultherapy. Now, I haven't had this procedure yet, but I know it's one of the most coveted, the most popular one in Korea because everyone wants to get it. Everyone wants to have Ultherapy. They always recommend it no matter who you ask about procedures.
And I think after that, I got very interested in the whole procedure. So according to her, it's actually a very popular procedure done in Seoul right now. A lot of people get it done. And then I think I chanced upon Mongabong's vlog as well, but this was a few years ago, and I think she also did Ultherapy in Seoul if I'm not wrong, followed by some Hydra facial thing. And then right after that, I just did a whole lot of googling about what is Ultherapy, what does it do, what is the difference between Ultherapy and Hifu, and there are so many other sorts of treatments out there. But after I've read all these treatments, I've actually decided that Ultherapy is the better way to go about it. Also around the same time, I was toying between the idea of doing thread lifting because a lot of people are also talking about thread lifting, and it's quite popular in Seoul as well if I'm not wrong, and also in the States. But even the clinics in the States use Korean technology. So I'm actually very sure I'm going to do a treatment in Seoul because the technology there is the most advanced. And if I were to do any sort of treatment to my face, I want to do it in a place where their technology is high and advanced. So that's why I decided to get my treatment done in Seoul. So my main concern or my insecurity is actually my double chin. I have had a double chin problem since a really long time ago. Not sure because of aging or because I chew a lot, and there's just a piece of fat below my chin that I wanted to kind of make it smaller or remedy it of sorts. So if you've not heard of thread lifting, they are essentially injecting dissolvable threads into your skin, mainly in your jawline area, and then over time these threads actually dissolve and they will start to have a lifting effect on your face. So it kind of gives a lifting effect to your face, and that's what a lot of people want to achieve. They want to achieve a V-shaped jawline and just make their face look more lifted, and their eyes also have some sort of lifting, because after a while, if you're aging, your face tends to droop, etc. So you need some sort of treatment to kind of keep your face intact and lift and keep it lifted, So that was what I was interested in, thread lifting. And then after that, I got to know about Ultherapy through this YouTuber's video, and I found out that Ultherapy is also a thing in Korea, and it's non-invasive as well, that you are not injecting any sort of thing into your face, because sometimes with injectables they can be a little bit risky and tricky because you never know what will happen. And so something less invasive is generally more recommended. But I guess the pros and cons is that something less invasive may not be as effective as well. So I highly suggest that you take this video as pure layman information and with a pinch of salt. I will still recommend that you do your research and googling to decide which treatment is best for you, but this is just my personal experience that I want to share with you today. Okay, so as for Ultherapy, they are essentially using micro-focus ultrasound to penetrate into the skin depths to kind of like stimulate new collagen growth and as well as elastin proteins. So you will see a result over time. And a lot of times people have been comparing between Ultherapy and Hifu as well, because I know in Singapore Hifu is actually very popular. A lot of people get Hifu done. I only realized that because I started to ask around, and all these people around me told me that they've got Hifu done before. I was like, okay, so what exactly is the difference between Hifu and Ultherapy? So I actually went to Google it as well. So I'm just going to refer to this article I have on hand that kind of lays out the key differences between Ultherapy and Hifu, because I get asked that a lot, like how is my experience like, etc. Like how does it differ from Hifu. I don't know why I'm being asked this, because like I'm not an expert as well, so I'm just going to give you the answers from the experts itself. Okay, basically both of them do the same thing. They are meant for skin tightening and skin lifting. They are both also non-invasive. You don't require any form of surgical treatment for them to achieve facelifts and skin rejuvenation as well. So some of the things that these two treatments do is essentially: number 1, minimize fine line and deep set wrinkles; number 2, to lift sagging jowls; number 3, to smoothen neck creases if you actually have like creases and wrinkles on your neck; number 4, to tighten loose skin; and number 5, to sculpt and sort of contour the face shape, which is essentially what I want to achieve, especially my double chin area. So is Hifu treatment the same as Ultherapy? I would say that for the large part it's quite similar, but Ultherapy has the added benefit that it uses real-time imaging. So they actually have this like FDA approved screen. They actually make use of this patented deep sea visualization technology guide for the entire process, so that when the doctor, do you call it doctor? So that when the person doing the treatment on you actually uses the ultrasound to scan through your face, they are able to see the structure of your skin, your muscles and bone as they apply the treatment, so that they know which areas to avoid and which areas to kind of pay more attention to as well. So it allows the practitioner to kind of zone in on the depleted areas of collagen, like all the areas that require more collagen. They will like pump more ultrasound scans onto it, so to speak, so that they can treat the skin precisely and safely in the areas that need it the most as well. However, for Hifu, they do not use this imaging technology, which also means that the practitioners cannot see the layers of skin that they are treating and the effects that the beams are having on the skin. So if there's anything that you need to pull back and not, you know, do so much ultrasound on, they are not able to tell, because there's no real imaging technology going on. So I kind of refer to Hifu as like a blind skin tightening treatment, because you're essentially like going in blind. You're not like seeing anything that you are doing. You're just zapping it as you go along. Also, another key difference between Hifu and Ultherapy lies in the treatment areas that they work on. So Ultherapy lifts and tightens the neck, chin and brow, and improves lines and wrinkles on the chest, and it is also the only FDA approved and CE marked treatment of its kind. So essentially they are able to treat a wider range of areas than Hifu itself. I have actually googled and found out that actually many of these Hifu machines all over the world, I'm not sure which parts of the world, but they say that they don't have both FDA and CE mark approval for skin tightening and lifting across the face, neck and décolletage. So it creates like potential risk for patients, which is why essentially Ultherapy is also known as the more reliable treatment choice. So I think that's the reason why I decided to go for Ultherapy, even though it costs a little bit more. So definitely Ultherapy will cost more than Hifu because of the given additional benefits that it comes with as well. However, I would say that both treatments produce skin tightening and face lifting results. I'm not sure how the result is going to be, but I'm going to share it with you. They still initiate a cell renewal process in the body, and the visual effects are not immediate. So I think that if you do thread lifting, the effects are more immediate the best results actually take like 2 to 3 months. So it actually takes 3 months to see your best results because collagen and elastin actually take time to produce. Unlike thread lifting, because you are actually doing dissolvable threads, I think it will still take a while because the threads still need time to dissolve, but essentially it will take a bit of time for you to see the best results. And then these results actually last between 6 to 18 months, meaning to say that it's also not forever. Like you kind of need to like get this done every few years or so that you boost new collagen along the way. This is just a very brief descriptive of like what I have sort of like understood about this treatment so far. I will try to link the article that I'm referring to down below so that you can read up more on your own. For those of you who are new here, my name is Amelia and I do videos on luxury and lifestyle. So if you enjoy these kind of videos, do consider subscribing, click on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. However, in this video, I also want to share with you my experience about doing Ultherapy in Seoul itself. So prior to going to Seoul, because I already know I'm going to do Ultherapy and I'm like kind of like focusing on it, so there are some sites that actually connect you to like clinics. I actually googled like best Ultherapy clinics in like Seoul, and then like a lot of them will pop up, but I'm pretty sure there was one site that I clicked on that was meant to like be a redirection to a clinic or like to different clinics so that these people can actually reply to you in English, because not all clinics actually serve or reply to you in English. So I think that was very helpful. So I was actually WhatsApping almost 4 clinics. I'm going to link all 4 clinics down below. The clinic that I ended up choosing and going for is actually Woo-Ah Clinic. I would say that I was actually deciding between Woo-Ah and CDU Clinic. CDU Clinic was the other one that I was definitely very interested in. The other 2 clinics that I was WhatsApping was actually Pang Clinic, but they are mainly known for doing thread lifting. They are actually very popular for thread lifting. So I was actually texting them because at that point of time I have not decided whether or not I want to do Ultherapy or thread lifting as well. And then the last clinic was actually DA Dermatology Clinic. So out of all these clinics, I would say that Woo-Ah and CDU are generally more responsive. Honestly speaking, I think CDU was more responsive to me, but I didn't end up going with them because it was slightly further away from my hotel. So I decided to go with Woo-Ah because it was just nearer to my hotel, and like I needed to like switch hotels that day, and it was just a hassle to like travel out too far, even though it was like in the same like Apgujeong area. But yeah, Woo-Ah was like a 5-minute walk from my hotel. So another pro tip is to stay near the clinic that you're going to do the treatment at, because it just makes things easier if you want to go back to the hotel to rest, etc. So coming back to Woo-Ah Clinic, I really like their responses, and like they were the ones that did like a voice consultation with me. They actually WhatsApp called me and like did a consultation. So I thought that was really helpful and great. I think we were actually discussing about pricing on WhatsApp as well, and I was asking her exactly how much it was, etc. So one thing that was very interesting amongst all these clinics was that they were saying that if I'm willing to actually allow my photos to be used by them to show the before and after, I can actually get like a 10% discount. And some clinics actually also offer like tax-free deduction. So definitely ask that when you're WhatsApping the clinics, because if you can save some cost over there, why not? I would say that in terms of pricing, Woo-Ah is not the cheapest out there. I think also because they are located in Gangnam, but most of these clinics, like the more reputable ones, are all located in Gangnam area, just so you know. So there is one clinic that has been popularized by TikTok. I feel like I shouldn't be naming the clinic here, if not I'll get sued for it, but you can Google it on your own. So I actually got curious and I went to Google about it. They are well known because their pricing is super cheap apparently. So I went to read the reviews, and oh my god, the reviews are all so bad. Like there were majority bad, but there are some like good ones here and there, which I give them props for. I mean, I wouldn't know because I've not been there, I've not done any treatment there, so I don't really have an opinion on it. But based on the reviews that I've read, they were all really really bad. It was so bad that I think someone mentioned that they were acting as like a factory, like you just go in, get this thing done, and then you go out, you go in, get this thing done, like because there were so many people in the queue. So I didn't want to do that because it's something to do with your face, like, you know, you kind of need to be a bit more careful, or rather I want to be more careful about anything being done on my face itself. So I don't recommend that you just go for the cheapest one out there just simply because it has to do with your face. Like, I'd rather you pay a little bit more and just get it professionally done at like a more professional clinic of sorts. Not to say that this clinic is not professional, but I think because they have been popularized by TikTok, they got so crowded that I think that the clinic couldn't handle it. So they just don't pay a lot of attention to like details when they are doing treatment for you. I read somewhere that the person did not even explain what was being done before the treatment was done. I was like, oh my god, I cannot do this. Like, I'd rather go to like a professional clinic, okay, and like pay a little bit more. So back to Ua Clinic, I stayed at Gangnam. So I was actually like a 5-minute walk away from the clinic. I stayed at this hotel called Patio 7. You can Google it. I'm going to leave it in the description box down below as well. So I think planning your trip is also very important because I was going to Korea and then I was going to Japan. So I had a very long trip. It was like at the start of my trip. So I would suggest that in future, if you want to do this kind of treatments, maybe it's best that you do it on the last day, or plan to have Seoul on your last leg of the trip, because after the treatment you're actually not allowed to drink alcohol. You're supposed to stay away from alcohol, so it might affect your trip in some way or another, and your face will get slightly swollen, but I wouldn't say it's very bad as well. So planning ahead, I was also going to do a photo shoot in Korea, and I would suggest that you do any sort of photo shoots before you get the treatment done, obviously, if not your face is going to be swollen. So my photo shoot was on the 2nd day, so I decided to get the treatment done on the 3rd day before I check out and move to another hotel as well, because we were switching hotels in Seoul. We were switching from Gangnam to Hongdae that day. So I did the treatment on the 3rd day morning. So because I have 2 days to spare, on the 1st day I actually went down to the clinic physically to do like a face-to-face consultation because I just needed that additional assurance. So I consulted with this girl who is able to speak English, and she went through the pricing with me, etc. And I asked all my questions that I need to ask, which is like a lot of questions. I'm asking about downtime, asking about makeup, how do I come to the clinic with or without makeup, etc, which I'm going to share with you as well. And I think the most important thing is the pricing, because the price that she quoted for me is not the same as the price on WhatsApp. So I actually showed her the pricing that was quoted to me on WhatsApp, and I think in a way she had no choice but to go with the pricing on the WhatsApp itself, which was much cheaper. I think she was quoting me about like 2.6 million won, but on the WhatsApp I was being quoted like 2 or 2.1 million, which is quite a big difference. So I would actually suggest that you WhatsApp the clinic beforehand, talk about pricing, try to see if there's a discount, and then go to the clinic and probably do like a 1-day consultation before you decide if you want to get the treatment done as well. So the lady was telling me that on the day I go for treatment, just maybe do not wear any sort of makeup, because if I do wear makeup they're going to remove it anyway. So I just went to the clinic like, you know, like makeupless. And then after the treatment, you're not supposed to drink alcohol for 3 days. After that you may have some sort of swelling, and on the first 2 days maybe try not to use any sort of like cold facial mask, because like, you know, like people try to like use the ice rollers to roll because it's swollen, right? But she say please do not do that because it will affect the results of the treatment itself, or like trying to just avoid any sort of like cold icy toners or like facial masks as well. You can put on makeup on the next day, but on the day that you get the Ultherapy done, maybe try to go makeupless. I think that's what she said. and I can't really recall. I think that's about it. So on the third day itself, I actually went down to the clinic. I was being ushered into a room again to just confirm that this is what I'm doing and let her know that okay, I want to do this, because she was asking me if I wanted to do something else for my eye, but I've decided that I'm just going to leave that for another time and just focus on this Ultherapy, because like I literally have no experience and I just wanted to experience it, right? So I decided to just get Ultherapy done. I didn't get any sort of like treatment for my eye, treatment for Botox, nothing. I just wanted to focus on Ultherapy. And then I made payment. I went to the counter to make payment, and they have like little cubicles, like lockers for you to put your stuff in, and then they'll give you like a band and then with like the elastic chain so that you are not carrying things with you. And then I think they ushered me into a room to put on the numbing cream. This is my face before. No makeup. So someone was cleaning my face and they put numbing cream on all the parts that they are going to like do the ultrasound beams on. So they put on this numbing cream and like they kind of cling wrapped it, so it kind of looks very funny. But I laid there for if I'm not wrong 20 minutes, because like it takes a while for the numbing cream to take effect. And then I'm being ushered into another room where there is the imaging technology on screen, and I was being introduced to this doctor. So on the pre-consultation, I did ask who is the doctor going to be. Like I'm actually able to pick a doctor if I really wanted to. I wasn't very sure who's good or whatever, but I said that it'll be great if I can be assigned a doctor that's able to speak English. So that's what she did. There was a male doctor and then there was also like a female doctor, but I think the female doctor I had to wait a little while on the day that I go in, because before me there was already another appointment in place. So I decided to just go with the male doctor in any case. So I was supposed to do some googling about this doctor prior to going back to do my treatment, but I obviously didn't. In any case, I was being introduced to this doctor. I cannot remember his name offhand. We're going to include it here. So he actually speaks really good English. He was educated in the States, if I'm not wrong. And we actually had a good time chatting and conversing. I was asking him about like real estate in like Seoul. He was asking me about like Singapore. Apparently he has been to Singapore as well. And like we were just talking about it through the treatment, because honestly I think that you kind of need someone to talk during the treatment itself. If not, the pain is jarring. So coming to the pain factor, I have a relatively high pain tolerance, I would say. I would say that, oh my god, it's raining. So even with the numbing cream being put on, I would say that the pain factor is about a 7 upon 10. Like it's really up there. I have not done any sort of tattoos before, so I would not know. I hate injections actually. Not that I think that it's extremely painful, I just hate the idea of it, because like I just hate needles. I get very like anxious when it comes to needles. I also forgot to mention that they obviously cleaned off the numbing cream before they were doing the treatment and before bringing me into this other room itself. So the doctor actually went on to draw like lines on my face, which I'm going to include a photo here. And he was telling me that there are certain like nerve endings on my forehead here that I needed to avoid, because it has a lot of nerve endings and it might cause trouble if he were to zap it. So that's what he did, which I thought was very good, because like I was a bit concerned and he understands that it was my first time. Some people mentioned that because the Ultherapy actually concentrated on their cheeks, there are some like sagging in the cheeks area. So far I've not seen any sort of sagging, which is great. But I was telling him that maybe try to avoid the cheek area, so it's something that you can actually let your doctor know as well. But I wanted to concentrate more on the double chin obviously, and like the lower jaw itself. So he was drawing all the lines and like, you know, like telling me where he's going to concentrate on, blah blah. So I think he went on to do the cheeks, etc. I think the cheeks were not so bad. The forehead was also okay. So what it felt like was a bit like little, like think of it as like little lasers like zapping onto your face, like a bit like static shock, like static every time he zaps. It's like a little static on your face, you know. I'm so sorry about the thunder if you can hear it on this screen itself, but okay, let's just continue. So to be honest, I think the pain was not so bad, but I could feel pain, and in my mind, I have no idea why I thought so, but I thought it was going to be painless because like I read through all the reviews online and everything just says like painless, painless. But one interesting fact was that this Korean girl that I was watching the YouTube on that, you know, like got me interested in Ultherapy, etc. She did the therapy as well, and she mentioned that she was being put to sleep. I don't think it's like anything near GA, but apparently she was being put to sleep because she was scared about the pain. So I'm like, why is she scared of the pain when everyone says that it's like painless, right? So obviously I was so wrong. I thought it was like painless, and because I thought it was supposed to be painless, the doctor actually stopped and asked me if I needed to take like some oral relief or like etc. to like kind of like aid me in the pain. And I guess because he offered, I was like okay. But then he went out, and when he came back, he actually said that I needed to do an injection at the back, and I'm pretty sure I need to pay additional for it. So I'm like okay, it's fine, like I will just get through it because like the pain is still tolerable for me. So I just went ahead with it. And then I think he gave me a heads up before he started on the double chin area because he said that it's going to be the most painful one. So it was really painful. I must admit, but I wouldn't say every zap it is painful, so there are different layers. So here it's not super painful, but as he goes towards the back, I'm not sure why, but it became like more painful, and the pain is like those stinging kind of pain. I needed to like talk to myself so that I just like ignore the pain kind of thing. So interestingly enough, before I started the procedure, I was given this plushie to hold on to so that, you know, like I can squeeze it. It's very cute. I'm going to post a photo here. And then when they started doing the double chin area, they gave me like this other thing to like press, and it kind of like vibrates. So essentially it's like a vibrator, haha. But anyways, so you basically press on it and it vibrates, and it's supposed to kind of distract you away from the pain. So every time he's zapping, or like can feel it zapping, I just like press the vibrator like crazy, and like it kind of like dissolves the pain a little bit. And yeah, I would say that the whole procedure took about like 30 to 40 minutes, I'm not sure, but yeah, I was quite relieved when it was done. And then he'll show you on the screen itself that he has officially completed like 600 shots. Oh, I mean during the consultation they will ask you how many shots you want to do also. So there's 300 shots, 400 shots. So someone given my age and my skin concern, she recommended me to do 600 shots, so I just went ahead with 600 shots. And yeah, that's what I did, and he will show me on the screen that he has already completed like 600 shots. And I was given like a cert as well to say that I have officially completed the Ultherapy treatment, and it's like a official kind of like gold bar thing. I don't have a reference on hand anymore, but it's supposed to like let you know that you actually went for a proper Ultherapy like treatment, because he said that there's a lot of fake Ultherapy treatments out there. So this one is real, that's why he gave me a cert for it. So after the treatment, I was ushered into another room to do like a free facial that they threw into the package for me. And I wouldn't say it's like a extraction kind of like facial. It was not even like Hydra facial. It was more of like a soothing, moisturizing facial. So the person tending to me was kind of doing like a gel soothing moisturizing treatment for my face, which I think was great because like it was slightly swollen. So that's what I went through, and then after that I just changed and I go back. That's it. Like I completed the entire treatment in about, I would say give it about an hour and a half to 2 hours just for buffering. Yes, I went to the hotel and then like I checked out, even moved luggage. So I was perfectly mobile. Like I didn't need to stay in the hotel to like recuperate or anything. I would say that I only started to feel tension on my jaw like about 4 hours in. Like it feels like I got punched in the jaw. Like there's this like feeling there. It's not painful, but it's like a very like achy kind of feeling. It's not even like a toothache kind of feeling. I can't even explain to you how it feels, but the best explanation is if someone were to punch you in your face, and then that's like how it feels. So I think that's what the person at the counter will also tell you as part of like a post-treatment effect, like how you would feel. I went to eat spicy food after that. I was fine, and then I just didn't have alcohol for like 3 days. Technically it was like 2.5 because like I couldn't deal with it after that. I would say that the pain is not so bad. Like after that, like the following day, I actually went to like USJ as well, like Universal Studios. I sat roller coasters. Like it was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong. Like you can immediately go back to your everyday life. It's just the aching that was a bit annoying. Like I even went to play kendo where I needed to put on a mask, and the mask kind of like laid here. I was a bit careful about that, but it was fine, you know, like nothing wrong about that. I would say the achy feeling and the swelling feeling kind of officially died down like after a week, and I think I posted like some videos. I'm going to post it up over here. Hey guys, I just want to quickly come on here to give you an update on my Ultherapy. So today it's about 2 weeks after I've done the procedure, and I'm now back in Singapore obviously. As you can see, I feel like there is like some sort of like tightening going on in my jawline here. The swelling has kind of like gone down a bit as well, so I think that's great. And honestly, I feel like there is some form of like I can feel like there is like lifting and tightening in my jawline, especially on the right side for some weird reason. And yeah, it just feels a little bit more defined and just tight, you know. And I do feel like this part there is some sort of pressure going on, like at this particular point of my jaw. And like sometimes when I try to like open my jaw and like bite, there is like some form of like pressure. It's not painful per se, it's just like I can actually feel the tightening effect of it. So I think that's really interesting, and supposedly you'll see like the full effects of it take course over 3 months to 6 months. So I just wanted to give you like a quick update, and like I'll just check in from time to time again. So as you can see, I might do some shots to cross-reference how I look and how my jawline looks over the course of like 3 months, so that you can take a look at the results yourself as well. So yes, this is my update at 2 weeks. So I'm going to come closer and I'm going to show you like my 1 month result. So this is how it looks like when I'm facing you. And then if I lift up my chin, you can still see that there is like this piece of fat over here that I think they were trying to concentrate on, or rather the doctor was trying to concentrate on. And then I can't really see you from here, but this is like my side profile. And then I'm gonna turn over to the other side, and then this is like my side profile on the other side as well. Personally, I can feel some sort of tightening. I wouldn't say like the result is like super obvious, but I can actually feel some sort of tightening along here as well as here. I felt this one a bit like earlier than here actually, but I don't really know how to tell you in terms of like I don't know how to like calculate it for you in terms of like how I'm feeling or like the effects of it. So what I can do is just to show you like before and after photos. After this, I'm going to take some like shots so that you can see it in photo wise. And I actually took shots before I actually went to Korea to do the treatment, because like when you're doing the WhatsApp consultation, they do ask you to take photos of your front view, your side view, and like your chin profile, so that they roughly know what they can like recommend you. After having talked to all these 4 clinics, I think all 4 clinics actually mentioned Ultherapy. So that's another reason why I decided to go ahead with it. So yes, this is like my 1 month update. I'm going to probably do another update at 3 months just to show you like a difference in the result itself, so that it might be helpful for anyone here who's thinking about doing Ultherapy as well in Seoul. And yeah, I hope this video has been helpful for you. It's kind of like a rambly video. I hope it's like not too boring, but anyway, I think this rain is getting heavier by the minute as well, so I'm going to just end my video here in case like you can't hear it through all this thundering. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!